like an alien, far from ecstasy in a parallel reality.
The music teachers at school had sort of seen this sort of latent talent. I wasn't, wasn't very happy at school, so I put all my everything I had into this music. So I was sent to special sort of lessons, and I sort of managed to get my grade 8 and all the sort of singing things. And I got a place at Guildhall, but at that point I met my husband, who I married him instead of going to school. So I felt, so I was accomplished in one way, but I didn't actually get the, I think it probably stood me in good stead not going, because I think I would have had the imagination trained out of me. After I got divorced, I hadn't lived in London for a really long time. I'd lost touch with my friends, but I reconnected with Izzy, who was, funnily enough, her grandmother was my great-grandfather's mistress. And so she had all the photograph albums of her grandmother and Walter on this boat that they used to go around the world with, because, they're really fascinating and pictures that she had. And she became my sort of new family, and I kind of was with her all the time, and she sort of, took me under her wing, as it were, and it was those were really, really, really happy days. But I was already kind of, because I'm a rather sort of slight shape. I've always either made my own things, sort of cut up bits of material, even when I was really small, and gone to thrift shops. And then I sort of discovered the joys of having things made, which I'm afraid. But I really get it. It was very funny. But the first time I asked, not the first time. I'd been going to Chanel for quite a long time, but to me, it's all about the craft. I mean, I want to see, I want to know everything about sort of the cut and how many stitches are there and how they do the cuff, and so I plucked up the courage to sort of say, could I meet the people, the petits mains, as they're called. And no, I was told that I was the only person that had ever asked. I thought, that's just insane. That's the best part of it. So I went upstairs, and this was the first time I went. Then I went up lots of times after that. But they said, "Oh, madame, we see your head. We've only ever seen the people that just work on the arm or on the sort of on the body or the leg. Oh, now we see your head. It's so nice to meet you." So there's lots of bits of you in different cupboards that they sort of bring out. But that to me is the most interesting thing. Being able to alter something, because I don't necessarily sort of want an entire look. You might be inspired by a tiny piece of fabric, and then you sort of say, well, they could go with this sequin, and what about doing that? So I essentially had a second line going on myself at Chanel. Karl kind of knew about it, and it did turn a blind eye, because you're not really supposed to do that. But they loved me so much that they let me do it, so I was quite happy about it. He said to me at one point, he said, "We seem to be turning into each other." I took that as a huge compliment.
From Daphne's video that you made with David LaChapelle, Evening in Space.
While you were out of your mind, way out here in infinity, where nothing to find.